So, what if I told you the real secret to motivation isn't about finding some grand inspiration, but about literally creating it out of thin air? We're about to dive into one powerful idea from Steve Chandler's work that shows you exactly how to stay hungry for your goals. And it all starts with one of the most audacious statements you'll ever hear.
Just let that sink in. The year is 1976. A young man, not a movie star, not even close, just calmly states that he's going to be the biggest film star on the planet. Now, that's a wild claim for anyone to make, but what makes it truly mind-blowing is who was saying it and when.
Because back in 1976, the guy who said this was so far from being a movie star that the idea was, well, it was laughable. He wasn't some hot new actor. Hollywood barely knew he existed. So what on earth was going on? How could someone say something so impossible with such complete and total confidence? To get it, we have to go all the way back to that day. And the setting isn't some fancy Hollywood party. Nope, it's a DoubleTree Inn in Tucson, Arizona. This is where two very different worlds collided in a conversation that would change everything.
Okay, so picture the scene. On one side of the table, you have Steve Chandler. He's a sports columnist, and honestly, he's just there because his boss told him to be. He's not exactly thrilled. And sitting across from him, a massive, mostly unknown bodybuilder named Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's in town promoting a movie that had just bombed. And the title of that failed movie, believe it or not, was Stay Hungry.
So the lunch starts out as this totally standard, kind of boring interview. Chandler's just going through the motions, asking the usual questions. But then he asks one simple question about the future and gets a billion-dollar answer he never saw coming.
You know, it's a perfectly logical question, right? Arnold had already conquered the entire world of bodybuilding. So asking what's next makes total sense. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for the answer he was about to give.
And this is the part that gives you chills. Chandler said Arnold didn't puff out his chest or get loud. He just calmly, matter-of-factly laid out his plan, as if he were ordering dessert. And he repeated that same insane line, "I'm going to be the #1 box office star in all of Hollywood."
I mean, try to put yourself in the journalist's shoes for a second. He was trying his best not to laugh out loud. He is looking at a guy with this incredibly thick Austrian accent, a body that he called awkward and monstrous for a leading man, and a flop movie already to his name. For Arnold to become a star didn't just seem unlikely, it seemed completely delusional.
So Chandler, completely stunned, manages to ask the only follow-up question that makes sense. How? How in the world are you going to do that? And Arnold's answer wasn't about getting a better agent or acting classes, it was about a principle. A mindset that he'd already mastered.
He explained that becoming the #1 movie star wasn't some new, crazy dream. It was just applying the exact same process he used to become the world's greatest bodybuilder. It wasn't a wish, it was a formula. A system for making the impossible possible.
And here it is, the whole formula. It's so simple, it's almost infuriating. Step 1, you create a super clear, detailed vision of who you want to be. You see it in your mind's eye. And then, step 2, you start living your life as if you are already that person. You don't wait for it to happen. You become it, right now.
Now, Chandler admitted that at the time it sounded, kind of silly, too simple to be serious. But something about the way Arnold said it, that calm certainty, it stuck with him. He wrote it down, and for years, he just watched and waited.
And what he witnessed over the next 15 years was the slow, methodical, and undeniable power of that vision coming to life. Arnold wasn't just wishing for it. He was actively living into that picture he painted for Chandler back at that lunch in 1976. The results were just staggering. It all starts in 1976 with that declaration. Then, fast forward to 1991, after the world-shattering success of movies like The Terminator, an entertainment news show made the official announcement
that Arnold Schwarzenegger had become the most popular box office draw.
Not just in America, not just in Hollywood, but in the entire world.
He had done it, exactly as he said he would. It wasn't an accident. It was a vision that he executed flawlessly.
And this brings us to the core lesson here. This is the big takeaway. See, most of us are passive. We wait around to receive a vision, hoping for some bolt of lightning to tell us our purpose. Arnold's approach is the complete opposite. It's active.
He didn't wait for a vision, he created one. He literally made it up, and then he made it come true.
So, what does this amazing story mean for you and me? I mean, we're probably not all trying to become global action stars, right? Well, this principle isn't about that. It's a fundamental tool for fueling your own motivation, no matter what your goal is.
And here's why it works so well. A vision gives you a reason. It gives you something exciting to be up to. It's the fuel that gets you out of bed, fired up for the day. Having a powerful vision is the very essence of how you stay hungry.
And here's the most empowering part of all this. You don't need to wait. You don't need permission. You can create your vision for yourself right now, in this very moment. And hey, it's not set in stone. You can change it 1,000 times later. The only rule is, don't go another day without one.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The real question isn't, what's my destiny or what am I meant to do? The real question is active. It's a choice. What vision will you create for yourself starting today?